The conflict in Myanmar was triggered by the military coup on February 1, 2021, which toppled the democratically elected government. Myanmar is in flames since then, with multiple battles raging between the junta and the resistance. While large-scale protests have been subdued, daily ambushes and attacks on the military by rebels have risen. While New Delhi raised concerns about the political turmoil in Myanmar, it has never criticized the military takeover. India has been cautious in its response so far to the military coup in Myanmar. New Delhi's main justification for engaging with the Myanmar military is that it ensures the security of India's northeast.
We condemn any use of violence. We believe that the rule of law should be prevailed. We stand for the restoration of democracy in Myanmar. As far as border crossings are concerned, we are dealing with it as per our laws and humanitarian considerations.
India's northeast region shares an over 1,600-kilometer long border with Myanmar, with both countries having historical ties. With still several Manipur villages in Myanmar, the state's population has deep socio-ethnic links to Myanmar's ethnic communities. However, after the military coup in Myanmar, India clearly said no to people seeking refuge in the northeast states. India understands that its support for the Myanmar military could snowball and lead to a major refugee crisis in the country. The on-ground numbers suggest a higher influx of refugees in Manipur and Mizoram, with 1 lakh people already entered India. The official number of registered refugees in Mizoram from Chin state is now 30,000, but many thousands have not been registered. While Mizoram has built over 100 refugee camps, the BJP government in Manipur has not welcomed the refugees. India is not a signatory to the 1951 UNRC or its 1967 protocol and does not have a domestic policy on refugees. The pressure of refugees, the potential for cross-border violence, and threat to key projects are the top challenges India is facing. The coup has significantly undermined India's economic and security interests in Southeast Asia. Unlike Dhaka, which has been more vocal about its displeasure, New Delhi has been hesitant in expressing their concerns. China's growing engagement with Myanmar, its assertiveness in the Asia-Pacific have rattled New Delhi. China, in terms of geography and economy, is heavily dependent on Myanmar. China has full-fledged established good relations with Myanmar's government and gained a foothold in the country. Beijing has constructed oil and gas pipelines from ports in Myanmar to maintain a long-term presence in the country. As per experts, India needs to do the same thing to avoid losing its land routes to China and Southeast Asia. In the last decade, China has launched a number of important infrastructure projects in Myanmar. Post-coup, Myanmar has lost most of its foreign investments. However, Beijing has taken this opportunity to ratchet up its investments instead. Besides economic engagement, New Delhi is closely watching the advances that Beijing has made in its ties with Myanmar's military. However, China has said that the internal challenges in Myanmar were hurting other countries. Notably, China and Russia have continued to supply most of Myanmar's arms, ammunition, and aircraft post the coup. India has long harbored suspicions that China is covertly supporting rebel groups and insurgents operating in the northeast, but China's strategic silence over the execution speaks volumes. The West does not have the bandwidth for it. The ASEAN has been ineffectual, and India is treading a fine line. The West has been delivering billions of pounds worth of arms to Ukraine amid the Russian invasion. However, Western democracies have kept themselves away from Myanmar's anti-junta groups. As per experts, any assistance from the West could escalate the violence and further complicate the crisis. So experts believe that the best course for the West is to continue trusting the ASEAN for a solution.